Falcon fans, it's your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. So we're going to go over some Falcon news, rumors, and all the hot topics that's out there about our Atlanta Falcons this, off season. And we're going to talk about, some questions, what I consider, what you guys consider a good off season for the Atlanta Falcons. So guys, before we get into that, if you have not already, go ahead. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know that I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys like to hear what I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. Like I said, guys, we're going to get into all the hot topics that's out there. Some that, in my opinion, is kind of crazy. But it's good to hear the Atlanta Falcons, name the team is out there, the franchise out there. Because they, like I said, they're definitely going to be a player this off season. A lot of movement should be going on with this team. What direction they go in, all of us will have to just sit back, get our popcorn ready, and see what they decide to do. But with all these rumors, all these things out there, I just want to go ahead and talk about some of them. The hot topics and things like that, and just get you guys' opinion about it. What you guys think? There's so many opinions out there, so many, GMs out there. Besides, the only GMs that really matter is, the ones that actually going to be doing the transactions and doing the deals with everybody. But everybody got their own opinions. We got all the media, the social media. We got the TV heads talking about what they think the Atlanta Falcons are going to do. But at the end of the day, nobody really knows, and we just have to sit back and wait. All right, so one of the first topics out there, everybody knows this topic which is hot, and it really won't lose any traction right now until it get done either way, and that's what I'm talking about. Is the Lamar Jackson rumor. Again today, ESPN, they was hot on it, and everybody just really likes the fit. They think the Atlanta Falcon has a good chance to actually go out and try to pursue Lamar Jackson. They go back to last year when they tried to pursue Deshaun Watson, right? Why would they go out and was willing to do that, right? To go out and try to get a quarterback with that much baggage behind him and try to bring him into the franchise when they was in a worse situation last year and they definitely in this year. So it makes sense. I understand why everybody is feeling that way about, why the Falcons might try to go. The talking heads they mentioned, the talent that we got, like a Kyle Pitts, like a Drake London, pairing them up with Lamar Jackson. And, when you sit back and think about it and start to dream, yes, that sounds like a good idea, right? So until we decide, until they decide to do, you figure out what they're going to do with Lamar Jackson, we just got to sit back and wait. All right. Of course, tomorrow is that day, the 21st, when they can actually put a franchise tag on Lamar Jackson. They don't have to do it tomorrow. Just want to make that clear. They got until March 7th to do it. So they can actually try to come up with a long-term extension with him before they put a franchise tag on him. So if they don't put a franchise tag on tomorrow, doesn't mean that he's not going to be a Baltimore Raven. Just mean they have to the 7th to do it. And of course, it's the two different kind of tags they can put on him. They put the non-exclusive tag on him. That's about $32 million. But another team can come in and get him a contract and, give up 2 first-round picks for Lamar Jackson. If they put the exclusive tag, which is about $42 to $45 million, then they're the only team that can actually sign him this year. And he could potentially play on that 1-year deal for about $42 to $45 million. So until we know about that situation, guys, it's just going to be hearsay. Nobody had heard anything from the Atlanta Falcons organization. Nobody has heard anything from the Baltimore organization as well. But, they saying that the rumors out there was like $100 million apart. The feeling that he quit on the team, that the bridges could be burned. All that stuff is out there. But until we hear something definitive from either side, we just don't know, and it's just rumors and speculations. I already gave my take on it. If they go to go Lamar Jackson, like I said, it will be a dream. It will be something that we can really, probably build on. But I just think it's going to be a totally different direction than what they got going on right now, right? How they give up draft capital, of course, if they have to trade for him. They can figure out the cap. I'm not really too much concerned with the cap. They have their franchise quarterback, so they could do that if they want to, right? But that's just one of the things we had to think about with Lamar Jackson. The other rumor that's out there about Justin Fields, right? Are the Falcons willing to trade up in the first, taking that first round pick from the Chicago Bears to take Justin Fields and go get a guy like Will Anderson or, our big boy from Georgia? Either one of those guys, right? That's another rumor that's out there. Justin Fields on a podcast, and he mentioned that Atlanta was one of his hometown teams that he wished he could have played for the city. He also mentioned that he don't like playing in the windy weather. He want to play in a dome. So everybody putting that spin on it as well. Somebody that the Atlanta Falcons maybe want to pursue. Did they miss out on Justin Fields? They could say we got Justin Fields and Kyle Pitts. We missed Justin Fields a couple of years ago, but now we come back around and get him. But you're going to have to give up some more draft capital to do that. They come from number 8 to number 1 to actually go get a guy like Justin Fields. So that's the things. That's one of the things that could potentially be out there. Or could they just trade Justin Fields, keep the number 1 pick, and draft Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud or Will Levis, anything like that? That could be another way that they want to get rid of Justin Fields. They just want to trade him and get some capital that way. Maybe some players or something like that. Don't know, right? But that is a rumor that's out there. Really interested to see what you guys think about that rumor. The last quarterback that we'll be hearing about just popped up today is Daniel Jones, a landing spot for Daniel Jones. And personally for me, it's going to be a hard pass for me. First of all, I'm hearing that he wants $45 million. I'm not saying that the kid can't play. He had tremendous, improvement under his new head coach, Brian Daboll, this year, but it's a hard pass for me. His track record does not say that he raised $45 million after 1 year, especially when the team decided not to pick up his 5th-year option just last year. So that's another rumor about a quarterback coming. Guys, if they want to do that, they would really have to make me understand the mindset behind going to get a guy like Daniel Jones and paying him $45 million a year on top of that. So, but those are the 3 quarterback rumors that's out there. Guys, let me know what you think about those quarterback rumors. Until something gets solidified with either of these guys, right? We're going to be hearing things about it, right? Haven't heard much about Derek Carr, so I don't know if he's on the radar. Right now, it looks like he's with the Aints and with the Jets, but we'll just have to see. The other rumor that's out there, I know everybody was jumped on this real quick, with the safety Jesse Bates having, dinner with AJ Terrell, Kyle Pitts, Casey Hayward. All those guys share agents, so it's understandable that they be hanging out and things like that. But considering Jesse Bates is going to be a free agent this year, and friendships, you can start to put things together. And of course, that was one of the guys that I talked about, that I highlighted when we talk about free agents coming in. He would be a good signing for the Atlanta Falcons to go alongside Richie Grant. Yes, we still got Jalen Hawkins, but bringing another guy in that has the track record to show he has potential to play at a high level in the NFL, bringing a guy like Jesse Bates in would be good. He already have camaraderie with teammates, as we see. Would be a good fit for Atlanta Falcons, but once again, just a rumor, guys. Until we know what Jesse Bates, things he want. If the Atlanta Falcons, we don't not even unsure that Atlanta Falcons are actually interested in Jesse Bates. We as fans, and as like I said, our Twitter GMs and things like that, yes, we would love to have Jesse Bates, but we don't even know if he's a guy that's on the Atlanta Falcons radar. So it's good to see that a guy like Jesse Bates names out there. Hopefully they get him. I would really love if I see them on a dinner with Deron Payne, guys like that as well. So it would be awesome. The next news is Lorenzo Carter. Lorenzo Carter, of course, his contract got voided today. It was just a formality. We always knew that Lorenzo Carter was going to be a free agent. They signed him for a 2-year deal to stretch out the salary. But this is expected. This is not any news at all, even though it's reported. This is just something that happens. The Falcons didn't have to take any actions, anything like that. It just automatically voided. The potential of Lorenzo Carter coming back to the team is still there. Like I said, I think they had mutual interest. We don't know for sure, but bringing a guy like Lorenzo Carter, who had a pretty good season for the Atlanta Falcons, is where we need to be looking at. And then, so the last thing I want to talk about, guys, today is the needs. And what would be, the question to you guys, what would be a good offseason for the Atlanta Falcons, right? What are we looking for? What is your grade A for these guys? If they do these things, you'll say, I give them an A. If they don't, they're going to fail, and then we'll just have to see how the season goes. So for me, all right, the first thing I will say is that they have to solidify the defensive line. That's a 100%. That's a must for these guys. They have to solidify the defensive line position. Make sure that we're able to stop the run and be able to get penetration with our front four. That's one of the things that I'm definitely looking for. So if they can do that, type of person that they bring in, we don't know how it's going to look until they actually get on the field. But if they could bring guys that we think can do that in the off season, that would be definitely get an A grade for me from that position. So they need to fortify the defensive line. That's one of the things that we really need to look at. Like I said, be able to stop the run and get penetration with your front four. That should be a goal for this team this offseason. Of course, the defensive end position, pass rushers, don't want to give up so quick on our young guys, right? Armor Ebiketie, just one season. He showed potential that he can probably be better. I know you don't want to gamble and take a chance with that. So if you got a guy that you want to go get at that position, go ahead and bring him in. But you have to give these guys a chance. Just like I said with quarterbacks, guys don't come in right away and hit the ground running in each position. Especially if you're looking like a guy like Armor Ebiketie. Yes, he was a high second-round pick, but just give him time, right? You don't know. You really got to look to a guy about his third season to see if they got the potential that they're going to really have. So sometimes it takes growth, right? That's my argument about why teams get rid of quarterbacks so fast, because after one season, good or bad, you really don't know what you got. You got to let it develop. So same thing could go with a pass rusher, right? Armor Ebiketie, we all like what we've seen coming out of college. We like him in glimpses this year. So do they really need to go out and get a pass rusher? Yes, maybe. D'Angelo Malone, another guy that they brought in, did not get a lot of snaps this year. From a defensive standpoint, got a lot of snaps on special teams. But how much potential does he have as well? So yes, they need to fortify that pass rusher spot, but we don't want to give up on our young talent. So from that standpoint, they go out and make a couple of moves in that. If they don't, they wait to the draft. I'm happy with that from a defensive end standpoint. Going out to the secondary. The secondary is a must. They have to upgrade their secondary. Only got a bona fide guy, one guy there. That's AJ Terrell. Casey Hayward is a good pro, but I don't know if he can stay healthy. We don't know his situation, if they decide to bring him back or not. We will just have to wait to see on that position. They don't have to cut him. There's only $5 million on the book. So they might keep Casey Hayward and still draft another guy or sign another guy. They can definitely do that. But the secondary position is something that we really need to be looking at, specifically safety. Just talking about a guy like Jesse Bates. So if they bring in a cornerback and they bring in a safety, I think that would give me an A as well. Either in the draft or free agency. right? We're not just talking about free agency here. We're talking about the whole offseason as a whole. So if they can come away with good players in the secondary, that's also a. Those are some of the things on the defensive side of the ball that I think they should be able to do. Right? They have the money. They should be able to do it. And that's what we need to see. On the offensive side, of course, one of the biggest stories out there is what they're going to do at the right tackle position. Kaleb McGary, are they going to franchise tag him? Could find that out tomorrow. They do have to the 7 to decide with that. And that left guard position. Those two positions. That's always when we this year coming into the offseason, those are two big question mark position. I think Kaleb McGary improved his stock. He actually have an opportunity to be re-signed with the team. The left guard position is still open up for grabs. So what they're gonna do with that? I thought offensive line made big strides this offseason. So we definitely want to see what the Atlanta Falcons are going to do with offensive line. If they solidify the offensive line this offseason, re-signing Kaleb McGary, bringing in a solid left guard, that would be an A for me on the offensive line, right? That's what we need to think about on the offensive line. There was some people saying, what about the center position? I think they're going to roll with Drew Dalman. He just had his first full season under the center. I think they're going to give him another shot at that. Of course, we need depth at those positions, but they can add to that, through the offseason as well. But the offensive line is definitely something that we don't want to see take a step back. And so that's one of the things from the offensive standpoint is the offensive line. Give us an A in that. Next thing, of course, the wide receiver positions. Got to go get a bona fide number 2 wide receiver. We talked about some of the free agents out there. Not sure if any of those guys come in, going to make a big splash. But if they were able to do that, we want somebody to be able to stretch the field in the passing game, open up underneath for guys like Drake London and Kyle Pitts. Can they do that in free agency? Or maybe they have to do that in the draft. We just have to see. But if they can solidify a bona fide number 2 receiver this offseason to go along with our other 2 explosive weapons that we got, that would be an outstanding feat for the Atlanta Falcons. And the last thing but not least, they have to go ahead and make a decision on the future of the quarterback. If it's just for this year, right? Because for an example, if they decide to go with Desmond Ridder, which means they're going to give him this year to the opportunity to prove himself that he can be the man, right? That's one of the things they got to do. If they do that, they will definitely have to bring in a solid backup quarterback to play behind him. So the quarterback position is always probably the most important position. I left it for last because right now that question is really in flux. I was coming into this season, definitely thought that Desmond Ridder was going to have the opportunity to do his thing and show what he'll be able to do. But like I said, that story with the revolving quarterbacks in the NFL, the traction just won't stop, and the Atlanta Falcons names keep coming up. And sometimes when they say where there's smoke, there's fire. So we just have to wait to see. We haven't heard anything from the Atlanta Falcons organization that they don't believe in Desmond Ridder, but we haven't heard that they 100% is committed to Desmond Ridder either. So that could just be, making sure that they don't show their hands and things like that. But at the end of the day, it would be good to know what direction they want to go in with their quarterback position. So that's going to be the biggest key for me in this offseason, what the Atlanta Falcons decide to do with the quarterback position. I'm perfectly fine if they say Desmond Ridder is their guy. They're rolling with that. Because if they do all those other things I just talked about, defensive line, secondary, get a good offensive line, another playmaker on the outside, I think Desmond Ridder will be able to show what he's able to do, right? If they go the other route, bring in, a proven quarterback at that position, like a Lamar Jackson, then it might be harder to do some of those other things that we want them to do because of the resources that they have. So that's the way we have to look at it. Either way, the quarterback position is important. No doubt about that. But those are the things that the burning questions that I want to ask you guys today about this Atlanta Falcon team. What would it take for you to get Atlanta Falcons an A? What would you think that they could do that you say they was an epic fail this offseason? Remember, they do have all this cap space. They have so many different branches, so many different roads that they can go down, so many different ways they can go this offseason, unlike, other off seasons that the Atlanta Falcons have had for years. So it's really interesting. I think one of the biggest things we have to factor in that for so many years, the quarterback position was not a question. So they just had to put stuff around, Matty Ice to make this team a bona fide contender. But now moving forward, that is not the case. So it's so many different directions they could go. It's going to be interesting to see what the Atlanta Falcons, decide in the end. But guess what? We don't have that long to see how this all unfolds. So I can't wait. I hope you guys can't wait neither. Definitely want to hear what you got. Let me know what you think about all the hot topics out there. Let me know what you think about Justin Fields, Daniel Jones, Lamar Jackson. Let me know if you think they're going to franchise tag Kaleb McGary. What you think about Jesse Bates coming to the team and, having dinner with, our guys. And what would it take for you to give the Atlanta Falcons an A this offseason? That's all I got, guys. This is your boy Ricundo coming back at you with another video. Peace.